Get ready for truth and transparency from an ocean of liberal tears. Welcome to the Blue Shark Show with your host, Mike Lang.
As you know, we've done several videos on Chris Coffman, the ethical questions and the bully questions and things like that. Well, Chris Coffman's contract for the city of Granbury is up at the end of January of next year. So if the council doesn't do anything 90 days prior, which will be November 3rd, then his contract goes on for another year. So the city council is going to have to look at what has transpired over the last few months, and I would say the last several years that Chris Coffman has been city manager here in Granbury. We can even go back to April 30th, 2015, when Chris Coffman was a city manager in Sealy, and he was leaving that city to go to Granbury, and there was a big uproar about the $50,000 severance that Chris Coffman was going to get from the city. So let's take a look at the video, Austin County News Online.
You ran for your offices on the supposed platforms of reform, transparency, fiscal responsibility, and listening to the voices of your constituents. Guess what? Your constituents are screaming bloody murder over this proposal. Open your ears and listen. You have to know in your heart of hearts that giving away this indecent amount of money under the guise of a business continuity separation agreement is hogwash.
If I have a job that I'm full-time entitled to and I'm committed to, I will take care of it 24/7. I can't split myself to be in the two cities. I'm going to be 100% Granbury, and I'm going to be 100% consultant seat. You're going to get the ultimate out of it. Yes.
I just have one thing to say. I'm absolutely and totally appalled at the amount of this money that we want to give him. The streets need it, EMS needs it, HOA needs it. This is not where this money needs to go, and I want you to know that that's how I feel.
Yeah, it was funny listening to the people down in Sealy talk about Chris Coffman, and they pointed out, hey, we want some transparency here. We want some accountability and, citizen involvement. And they had a big issue with Chris Coffman getting paid a $50,000 consulting fee to split his time between the city of Granbury and the city of Sealy.
Yeah, so this just goes to show that the fiscal responsibility is just kind of lacking there. If you're willing to take that kind of a consulting fee and still try to work in both cities at the same time, is that really what's in the best interest of the citizens? And then here we have the contract for him coming up in Granbury, and we have until November 3rd to take a look at that. So maybe it's time the council takes a look at this contract and possibly open the position up for other people and see what we can bring in.
You ask why we bring this up. It's 2015. Why would you even care about a contract in 2015? Well, it shows you that the culture that Chris Coffman brought from Sealy to Granbury is alive and well. And we've seen it in a couple of city council people that one of them's now gone. But it's the culture of this bullying time after time. Now let's look at a citizen. Several citizens came up to speak that were totally against this. But we have Larry Coy that came up to speak, and this is what Larry said.
And y'all now have the hard decision to make as council member and mayor on whether to give him extra money to do duties, and I don't know how you do it from a town X amount of miles away from here to serve y'all.
So Larry Coy gives a good talk, and the council there votes 4-3 to give him the $50,000, the extra money, which that's on them. And then it doesn't stop there. Chris makes it a point to say, hey, I want to talk about this some more. Bring Larry Coy back in here. So they go searching for Larry Coy, bring him back, and Chris and Larry Coy get into this. And remember, Larry Coy is a private citizen.
It's a sad situation. Chris, you're getting a raise going up there. God bless your family for moving and everything.
God bless
And I
my
hope
wife
y'all,
for putting up with
I hope
you.
you get whatever you deserve up
Okay.
there.
I
Your family.
suggest we end this discussion
Okay,
now.
yes.
100.
Okay, Larry,
Where are y'all gonna get
Seriously.
the money?
Larry,
John
Larry.
Marsh has nothing to do
Larry,
with it.
please stop. Chris, please stop.
Thank you, Larry.
Point
It's
made.
getting out of here.
Larry, I think, was trying to be nice by watching that. He said, God bless your family for, making that move up there. And Chris proceeded by doing two things. He used his wife as a political shield, and then he went after a private citizen. That type of stuff is disgusting coming from a city manager.
Yeah, and if you look at what's going on here, the mayor and the city council members, they had to interject and tell Chris to basically stop going after this private citizen and being a bully.
It wasn't enough to say, thank you, I received my $50,000. He wasn't respectful. He wasn't gracious. It was, I got my money. Now I'm going to be a bully, and I'm going to make sure you're going to get yours too. And that was in 2015. And let me tell you something, folks. He hasn't changed a bit. Some people think he has, but he hasn't. I've dealt with him professionally, and that's the way he still is. So the city council and the mayor have a choice at this time before November 3rd. And they can say, this contract is null and void. We're not going to accept it anymore. And we can start looking for a new city manager. If they decide to twiddle their thumbs and do nothing, then we're going to have Chris Coffman for at least another year.
Yeah, much like some of those apps people sign up for and they say, hey, if you don't take any action, we're just going to auto-renew, and people tend to forget about them. Hopefully the city of Granbury doesn't forget about renewing or not renewing this contract, preferably not renewing, because the end result will be that the city of Granbury and the citizens of Granbury have to put up with him even more.
If anything, there's an option. They could just have a new contract where there's a review process in place. So you have like a performance review. And if you're not living up to the standard of this contract, then there's an option to find someone else. But we have that opportunity now. So there's no reason why we shouldn't take it.
And I went through a year and a half of agendas to look and see if they brought up anything about Chris Coffman in the agendas. Now, it might have been brought up in executive session that we're not privy to. So we need to make sure that you get with the city mayor and every city council person to see where they stand on renewing or getting rid of the contract for Chris Coffman. And I'd also like to hear from the candidates that are running on where they stand on this Chris Coffman city manager issue. Shark Show out.